of the Nobel Peace Prize Award, among the others.
Mitt hjärtes första kärlighet. Jag älskar dig som ingen här på jorden. Jag älskar dig, jag älskar dig, jag älskar dig i tid och evighet. Jag älskar dig i tid och evighet.
Your Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a conscience exists in the world that extends beyond all boundaries, which is independent of religion, culture, and social adherence. It says that children have a right to childhood, that children should go to school and not be forced to work. They should not start their lives as slaves of others. This world conscience can find no better expression than through Kailash, Satyarthi and Malala Yousafzai. So, dear Nobel Peace Laureates, a stronger expression of Alfred Nobel's appeal for fraternity between nations would be difficult to find except through you two. We are honored to have you here. Congratulations. The road to democracy and freedom is paved with knowledge. Taliban and ISIL dislike knowledge because they know that it is an important condition for freedom. Attendance at school, especially by girls, deprives such forces from power. But nothing should be further from Islam than using suicide bombs against their co-religionists or shooting at a young girl whose only demands was to be allowed to go to school. Violence and repression cannot be justified in any religion. Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism protect life and cannot be used to take lives. The two whom we honor here today stand very firm on this point. They live according to what Mahatma Gandhi said: "There are many purposes I would have died for. There are no purposes I would have killed for." Satyarthi and Yousafzai are precisely the people whom Alfred Nobel in his will calls champions of peace. They are not only behind the desk, but in practice. Your Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, ladies and gentlemen, Kailash Satyarthi's vision is quite simple: to put an end to child labor. Since he abandoned a promising career as an electrical engineer in 1980, this has been Satyarthi's overriding aim. He has worked at several different levels to achieve it. At grassroots level, he has achieved the release of some 80,000 children, sometimes in very dramatic circumstances. He has often been brutally attacked. It takes little fantasy to imagine the reaction when he and his co-workers go into worn-down factory premises in India to set the children free. Powerful interests have profited from child labor, namely. They do not give up without a struggle. Satyarthi himself has adhered to non-violence. The child laborers are not infrequently recruited by kidnapping, but are often also hired out by parents who cannot manage their debts. Enslavement to debt remains very widespread, not only in India, but also in many other countries. Satyarthi insists that it is not poverty that leads to child labor. Child labor maintains poverty, carrying it from generation to generation. School attendance releases people and young people from poverty. Satyarthi has developed a model for how liberated children can be rehabilitated and get education. They must be provided with a basic knowledge to enable them to some extent to function as normal citizens rather than as slaves. He has set up a number of different organizations which work both in India and internationally to fulfill children's rights. Bachpan Bakau Andolan is perhaps the most important instrument, taking direct action to set children free. Satyarthi's struggle is marked by great inventiveness. Rugmark, established in 1994, now Good Weave, is a striking example. It is an international consortium of representatives of countries which export and import rugs. We can all, by simple means, check that the rug has not been made by child laborers. A network of inspectors has been set up to ensure that the system works. The children get to go to school and the adult workers earn a fair wage. Exporters and importers pay a small fee to keep up the system of inspections and controls. Efforts are in hand to spread the scheme to other products, often made by child labor such as knitted goods and sports gear. On the 17th of January 1998, Satyarthi embarked on his biggest project, the Global March Against Child Labour. 7 million children and adults took part in this march, which entered many different countries and regions. The march ended up in front of the ILO headquarters in Geneva. The following year, the ILO Convention Against the Worst Forms of Child Labour was unanimously adopted. The convention has currently been ratified by 172 countries. No ILO convention has been ratified more quickly. ILO Conventions 138 and 182 and the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child now form the basis of the worldwide struggle against child labour and for education. Much, nevertheless, remains to be done. There are roughly 60 million child labourers in India alone, most of them in farming. So if the country were to ratify the 2 ILO conventions, that would be a big step in the right direction. There are currently 168 million child labourers worldwide. In the year 2000, the figure was 78 million, higher. In this, as in so many other areas, things are thus moving in the right direction, and often much faster than we think. Satyarthi indeed believes that child labour can be more or less eliminated in his own lifetime. Everyone here shares this hope. Your Majesties, Royal Highnesses, ladies and gentlemen, Malala Yousafzai is far and away the youngest Peace Prize laureate of all time. Her story had nevertheless become known practically all over the world. When she was 11 or 12, she began under a pseudonym to write a blog for the BBC about what it was like to live in the Swat Valley in northwest Pakistan, under heavy pressure from the Taliban and with only ambivalent support from the Pakistani authorities. The schools periodically had to close, especially girls' schools. Malala Yousafzai's vision was clear right from the start. Girls have a self-evident right to education. Her courage is almost indescribable. We all know what happened on the 9th of October 2012, when she was 15. A gunman climbed into the school bus and asked for Malala. He fired 3 shots at her, injuring her most severely. Her life was saved, and she decided to continue her struggle for girls' education, although Taliban have made no secret of her intention to try again. Pakistan's population numbers nearly 200 million. 1/4 are between 5 and 16 years old. The nation's constitution guarantees all these children free and compulsory education, but nearly half, that 52 million, do not go to school. A large majority of them are girls. And it is not just Taliban that seeks to keep the girls away from school, because schools have been built without walls, without running water, and without toilets. And at least as important, indoctrination is sometimes more important than the skills and knowledge needed in order to cope in a modern world. The teachers too often lack the minimum qualification needed. We appreciate very much that Pakistani authorities have praised the award to the Peace Prize to the Malala Yousafzai. The best gift they could give her would be dramatic improvements in the country's education system. And that would benefit the whole of Pakistan. And ladies and gentlemen, few things provide a larger economic and social yield than investments in girls' education. And this logic applies all over the world. By placing the individual person at the center of all politics, one will soon see that those who are excluded are not a burden and not a threat to the society. They represent an enormous unused resource. Here in Europe, too, such logic would work wonders. The problem here is not that children and youth receive no education or are obliged to work. Far too many find no use for education or find no opportunities for work. We need to leave this negative situation and instead give the younger generation the hope which is probably the strongest defense against extremism. Young people must be able to see into the future instead of being trapped by dark forces and dark thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, while it is in the nature of extremism to create enemies and frightening images and to divide the world into us and them, the laureates show us something else. A young girl and somewhat older man, one from Pakistan and one from India, one Muslim, the other Hindu, both symbols of what the world needs, namely more unity, fraternity between the nations that Alfred Nobel spoke